Guess who's back? Back again. And it's back. Tell a friend. Please actually do, because we've nearly got 100 subscribers. So, in less than 3 weeks, I will be moving out of the UK after living here for about 6.5 years. This has not been an easy decision for me, as I feel like I basically didn't have another option. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, just watch my previous vid here. So when I was filming this video, I was envisioning this cute little clickable picture that would lead you to my video, but it turns out that that's not really a thing anymore, and that it hasn't been for a while, so yeah, that's quite embarrassing. You can find the video here now. Thank you for watching. Did you figure out how to do that editing, Anne? I believe in you. Thanks, baby girl. So in a desperate attempt to convince myself that I'm making the right choice, I'm going to talk about the 5 things that I will not miss about living in the UK.
Oh my god, she said the title!
Now I'm sure I could come up with quite a few more, seeing the UK is very set on proving to everyone that they're not like other countries. What with their own currency, their own plug sockets, absolute chaotic use of unit measures, somehow being 4 countries in one, and of course driving on the left side of the road. But all of this is common knowledge. These next 5 points are things I've discovered by living here. So grab yourself a plate, fill it up with roasted potatoes, a Yorkshire pudding, some veg and or meat smothered in gravy, because we're about to roast Great Britain. Growing up in Belgium, I swear no one has carpet in their houses. Like, everyone just has wooden floors or tiled floors or laminated floors. Like, I feel like the only places that I'd ever seen a carpeted floor was in a hotel, maybe? I don't know. So you can understand my shock and terror when I moved here to find out that literally every home has at least one carpeted room, usually the bedroom, but a lot of the times also the living room and the hallways. Why? Why would you do that? Number 1, it's ugly. Number 2, it's literally impossible to clean. Yeah, you can hoover it, but unless you hire one of those carpet cleaning machines, it will never be actually clean. Number 3, it's ugly. I've asked Britons about this, and they always say that it is to keep in the warmth. But I call bullshit on that. Like, if you're really concerned about insulation, how about you double glaze your fucking windows? No. All these rental properties are carpeted because it's cheap. Keep it in the warmth, my ass. Now this is another aspect about English homes that just absolutely baffled me. Sometimes your sink has 2 taps, a hot one and a cold one, which has literally no purpose, like at all. Like, I cannot think of one situation where that would come in handy. Because you essentially have the choice between cold water and cold water until your boiler heats up and produces scorching hot water. Imagine this. You come home late at night after a long bar shift. Even though you have no energy left, the fear of premature aging of your skin pushes you to still complete your skincare routine. You obviously open the hot tap because it's cold outside and you're tired, and most of all, you're not a maniac. Then you wait for the water to heat up, but you lose your patience, so you start splashing your face with lukewarm water. You apply your face wash, and by the time you want to rinse it off, the water is hotter than Satan's asshole. Seeing you don't want to give yourself 3rd-degree burns, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of, not prematurely aging your skin, you open up the cold tap and somehow try to mix it in your hands. But that doesn't work either, because your hands are not made of plastic and therefore also feel the burn. So you end up having to wash off the product with cold water and go to bed in a bad mood. The end. Am I blaming my lack of skincare routine on England? Yes, I am, and end of discussion. Okay, so I've got a confession to make. I've got another confession to make. I don't like the tube. What? I know, I'm ruffling some feathers here, but I'm not a big fan of the tube. Boo! Go back home to your country! I'm already doing that, you fucking loser. Besides the lack of daylight, the smells, the griminess, and the constant feeling of being sardines in a can, my biggest problem with the tube is the noise. Like, I feel like I'm constantly being yelled at when I'm on the tube. It's literally like that. I am not even exaggerating for comedic effect.
It's the sound of the underground.
Try having a conversation on the tube. It's not possible. And yes, I know, not all tubes, but most tubes. You know I'm right. Like, call me crazy, but sometimes I actually wonder if the decibels these carriages produce is actually still in the legal range. Obviously, it's very handy to have a train every 2 to 3 minutes to take you where you need to go, but honestly, sometimes I'd rather walk. So yeah, pro tip for your next city trip in London, bring earplugs. If you were offended by the previous point, strap in, girlies. I do not like the NHS. Now let me preface this by saying this is in no way, shape or form an attack on anyone working for the NHS. Like, they're actually performing miracles with the most limited resources ever. But I can't lie, I'm kind of excited to move back to a country with a functioning healthcare system. On paper, the national health system sounds like a dream, but in reality, it's more like a nightmare. And this because there's not enough funding to actually support the services. Something which, funnily enough, Brexit was meant to change. I guess it's another strategy, you know, force people to leave your country because you will not give them the care they need. Smart move. So currently what you have to do is you register with an NHS GP, stands for General Practitioner, it just means doctor. If you want to book an appointment, usually the earliest you can get is in about 2 to 3 weeks time, which I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling unwell, I don't want to wait that long. Jesus, my fucking flu is already healed by the time I'm actually seeing my doctor, you know? Or I'm dead, you know, either or. You can also get on-the-day appointments, which, how it works with my local GP at least, is you have to call at 8 a.m. and even though you call at 8 a.m. sharp, you will still be held in a phone queue for about 30 minutes until you finally get to speak to a human who then says to you that all the slots are gone for the day and you'll have to try again tomorrow. Healthcare has essentially become a lottery. Your other option is to go private, which is actually not really an option unless you're filthy rich. Seeing these consultations can range from about £200 to £300. Yikes. It's almost like the people who are in charge of funding don't actually use the NHS themselves. And the final thing that I will not be missing about living in the UK is the mumbling. Oh my god. Great Britain, I swear to God. What is it with the mumbling? Before I moved here, I feel like I was mainly exposed to American English through films and series. I feel like the only English things I saw was Mary Poppins and Harry Potter. Mary Po and Harry Po. Harry Po? So I kind of expected everyone to speak prim and proper. But yeah, that's not really the case. And I have worked so many customer-facing jobs. I swear some of them just do it on purpose. Could have it. Hi there. Sorry, I didn't quite get that. Sorry, there's quite a lot of noise around here. Would you mind repeating that? I'm so sorry. I still didn't quite get that. What? That'll be £3, please. I very vividly remember this one time when I was still working front of house. We used to all have these like radios so we could communicate with each other across the theater, right? And I asked for something and I didn't quite catch the reply because, you know, there's no visual, so I couldn't even rely on lip reading, and I'm surrounded by like a sold out West End theater. So I asked that person to repeat their reply, but perhaps a bit slower. And they proceeded to just say the exact same thing at the exact same speed. Something about English being the global language has actually stunted native English speakers their ability to empathy, because it's actually incomprehensible to them that you do not understand what they're saying. They somehow make you feel like you're the moron for speaking multiple languages. And there we go. That's the tea on the UK. Breakfast tea, that is. I'm really enjoying making these YouTube videos, so give me a like and a subscribe if you like them too. And if you do not like them, just tell me in a comment, because honestly, I went to drama school and not constantly hearing that I suck at everything is kind of messing with my brain, so help your gal out. Cheerio, governor!